Okay, today is Monday, May 19th, and I did not get to do an update yesterday on Sunday, May 18th, because I ran out of light and I ran out of energy. So I'll catch you up to date on what happened yesterday, because a few things did happen. Not a whole lot, but enough. I'm going to switch the camera over, and you can see that I got the other tarp up. This closes it off. So the two tarps overlap about 6 inches or so, and it does seem to make a reasonable seal. Obviously, smaller insects and little lizards and whatnot can squeeze their way through, but for the most part, it's a pretty decent barrier, and it only has to last about a month until the garage door comes. So I'm gonna walk around the back. That's where the other stuff happened yesterday. And it was enough, believe me. I finally got all of the root removal done on this southwestern corner of the building. So that took a lot longer than I had anticipated. And I did, once I got the roots out, I back-graded it up to the building. And I still have still have a little bit of work to do to get this slope right away from the building. But that was all that happened yesterday, Sunday, May 18th. But today, Monday morning, I decided to deal with this. This was the old, I don't even know what you'd call it, like just sort of a swinging door to close off this hole. At the top, they had three like hinges where you could lift this thing up and just open it to the air in the back. I guess to let air through, but it was nasty. I mean, the wood was rotted. There was all kinds of spider webs. Oh, and it came with its obligatory large spider, of course. So I had to kill it. And then I cleaned off pretty much all the metal around the building. It still needs a little along the top there. They had some sort of tape, so I need some goo be gone or something like that to get that off. But then I started to remove some of these nails that hold the sheathing on, because I'm going to be doing some construction on the inside. And let me take you quickly in to show you that before I lose light. So let's go around. Yeah, I think after looking at the studs in here, they're reasonable, but I think I'd like, see if I can zoom this out a little bit. Yeah, I think I'd like to actually remove these three center ones. Let me move back here. Yeah, so I've got this bracing up here because when I cut these three studs out, the roof will come down onto that 2x6. I know that this is self-supporting, and then this wall is really not a load-bearing wall, but nevertheless, I have this 2x6 up here, and they're screwed into the studs in the back here. So when I cut them off, if there's any load at all, it'll come down on the 2x6 until I can get the header in here. So I'm going to put a 2x6 header across this space here, and then that'll leave everything all the way down to the sill plate to be removed, and then I'll frame it up to whatever dimensions that I want. And it will be pretty much how I designed it. The 4 fan units will still be pretty much the same but I'll have a little bit more freedom in terms of being able to frame it up and deal with it any way that I want, rather than trying to work within the limits of, you know, the spacing between these studs here and here and here and here. So that's pretty much it. That took most of the day. Oh, and the thing that was on the back here, I disassembled that and put the wood into the burn pile, and then I cleaned off. There was a big piece of aluminum. It was basically a 2x4 frame, and then a big piece of metal aluminum nailed to it. So I've got to clean this up. I mean, the aluminum's still pretty good, so if I need any sheet aluminum to do patchwork or whatever, I'll have this. But the rest of the frame that was on that back is there in the pile here. So that's it for today. I'm going to continue on this. I want to definitely get this back opening finished in the next week or so I can be ready for the garage door when it comes, and then everything will be sealed. Okay, that's it. Have a good day. All right, quick update mid-afternoon on Tuesday. I got the back wall studs removed, and that was tricky. I couldn't just cut them out with a circular saw because it's not deep enough, and I couldn't cut the bottom sill out with the circular saw because you just can't get in there. But I was able to cut about halfway through with a circular saw, and then just use a handsaw to get the rest of the way through, which itself is a little bit tricky. Anyway, let me swap here, and there is, I guess I gotta move back a little. Hold on. Zoom out. There you go. So there is everything cut out. These top 3 studs. I was going to leave the center one in, but after looking at it at the bottom here, water had gotten in, and the bottom, maybe, I don't know, 2 inches of it was kind of icky, you know, mushy a little bit. So it had to go. The sill plate, surprisingly, probably because it was treated lumber, but it was decent, although it had gotten like really dark and nasty looking. So I decided to pull that out too, because I'm going to put a 2x6 in there instead anyway. And this beam up here, as far as I can tell, there really isn't much pressure on it. I can move this vertical support without really much effort. So I don't think there's really any pressure on there. Maybe a little, not much. But anyway, I'm about to start putting back the framing here. I'm going to start with a 2x6 header at the top, and then some jack studs 2x6 as well. Everything's going to be 2x6 in here because it will match the depth of the box that the fans will be mounted in. So yeah, everything in here, well, in here will stick out with a 2x6. And yeah, that's it. I got some paint. I could not get 2x6 by 8 treated lumber. I mean, they had 10 foot, and if I had a battery powered circular saw, I could cut it right in the parking lot, but I can't. Right now, all I have is my car. So the longest piece of lumber I can get into my car is 8 feet long. So I'm just going to go with regular lumber, untreated. Technically speaking, this is really inside the building, so it really shouldn't see any water. The only reason it saw water before was because of this lousy cap piece that they had put on there that was leaking in water. So I don't think it's really a big deal. I'll give it a paint just in case. But yeah, that's my progress for Tuesday up till mid-afternoon. Going to continue on. Okay, Tuesday, end of day. And some pretty good progress on the back here. Turn the light on here. It's getting dark. Spin that around. Still got to deal with the light situation. Okay, so probably doesn't look too different from earlier today, but you can see that there's some lumber cut here. Like, for example, this is going to be my sill plate for down here. That's already cut to length. And that will be the jack studs on either side here. And then this is my header that goes across up here. So it's already been test fitted. I've got a 2x6, a double 2x6 header. So it should be plenty sturdy. And tomorrow morning, I'll probably start to assemble this. Now, some of these pieces of wood technically could be exposed to the weather, even though they'll probably have trim over top of them. So I'm probably going to put a coat or two of paint. I already have the paint for it, especially the sill plate here and the header. The bottom 2x6 on the header across here is going to be exposed again, but it's going to have trim over top of it. But so I'll get that painted, and then I can put all these pieces together. I'll have basically a frame, and then I can remove all this nonsense here, which is basically doing nothing. I mean, I can actually wiggle this guy here, so there's really no pressure on it at all. And then I'll have everything framed up, and I can start to frame up the boxes for the fan units and start to assemble them. So that's pretty much what I got done today. Again, that was enough. This was really tricky, getting that cut up there. I had to put a piece of plywood across that I could rest the bottom plate of my circular saw on, so I could get these exactly cut at the same height. So I just ran it across the plywood that I had nailed up there. And then because there is aluminum sheathing behind that, I had to finish each cut off with a handsaw. And I had to also do these pieces here, cut out the sill with a handsaw as well. So that was fun. But it's all done now, so it's just reassemble time. Anyway, that's all for today. Talk to you later. Okay, update for Wednesday, May 21st. I think you're going to be a little disappointed. There's not a lot that looks different, but things have happened. So flipping you around here, come in here. This is the back area. Yeah, it doesn't look much different. Let me move the scaffold. But I spent probably 2.5, 3 hours just cleaning everything around this area. I scraped the concrete down here along the sill. I even scrubbed these vertical studs here with a brush and water. I scraped all of the old caulking between these two pieces of metal to prepare it for a new caulk. I even scraped the concrete down below the sill to prepare for it to have caulk up against this sill plate and the concrete itself. And I removed these supports. They were doing nothing, as I suspected, but I left that one up at the top just temporarily until I get the framing done. So yeah, not too much has happened. Now this is the new sill plate. It has 2 coats of paint on it now. I did also get 2 coats of paint on all the other framing lumber here. So they are dry now. but they will be ready to go into place tomorrow morning. And then along the back, I'll just quickly take you around here. Nothing too much to see, but you can just see all the scraping and cleaning I did to prepare for the new framing to go in here. You can see along the bottom, the concrete's actually clean. And in between these two sheets, that's all been scraped away with all the old caulk that was on there. And then everything is basically ready to go in. So tomorrow I will be framing, and I think we'll see some good progress. So that's it for today. Talk to you later. Okay, update for Thursday, May 22nd. Got all the framing, most of the framing in place. Now it's just left to frame where the boxes for the fan units are going to go, and then actually put the fan units in the boxes and rig up the electronic controls, and that should pretty much do it. So let's flip around. Let's go inside. This is the framing that's now in place. Zoom out a little bit. So got the 2x6 header across the top, 2x6 jack studs on the side, 2x6 sill plate on the bottom, all caulked all the way around, even in between these studs. I added 2 additional studs on either side of that center stud simply to pack it out so that my dimensions here would be the 27.5, which I was looking for the fan frames. And then the first fan will go in here, and then this cross member is where the fan, the bottom of the fan box will sit. Now, I looked at the fans, and they actually can be a little bit less tall than they are wide. So I may redesign that, because it's pretty easy. Just deduct an inch or two from the height. And then the second one, when it comes down to here, I won't have to cut out as much of the metal sheathing. I'll only have to come down about 8 inches here. So this will move up, and then the second one down here will be about here, and I'll have to cut out 8 inches of the metal sheathing on the back. But then, you know, I'll build the 4 fan boxes or frames that the fans will sit in, and there will be a stainless steel mesh on the outside of the frame, so when it pulls air in, it's not pulling in any kind of bugs or debris or anything like that. It'll be completely small enough that it'll be bug-free. At least that's what it says in the instructions or the specifications for the stainless steel mesh. Yeah, that's about all I got done today, and looking forward to getting a lot of this nonsense all fixed up tomorrow, and it should actually look like something by the end of the day tomorrow. Okay, that's all for today. Okay, Friday, May 23rd. Time for an update. Had to go into town today, get some more supplies, so not quite as much got done as I wanted, but I think you'll see how this design should manifest itself. So let me flip the camera around. All right, go inside here. So you can see that I have one of my fans just sitting up in that upper right hand box temporarily. Gives you an idea of how one fan will sit, and obviously there'll be 3 others eventually. I just screwed that up there temporarily just to get an idea of what the airflow would be like. It's not bad. with 4, I think it should be pretty nice. So this morning, I wasn't real happy with this right packing stud here. So I actually tore that off, removed it, scraped all the caulking off and put it back up again because it wasn't quite square with the building, which if I don't get it square now, it's only going to cause problems later. So yeah, I decided to just go ahead and fix that. That took maybe an hour, hour and a half. And then I started building this, this box here. So you'll see, well, actually, let me back up a second. You can see these cross members here. There's 1, 2, and actually there's 2 being hidden by the scaffolding here. Let me move that. I'll get a better look at it. Hang on 1 second while I unlock the wheels. Okay. So yeah, okay, so we've got 4 cross members, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we have the first fan box that I built. And unfortunately, everything is close to square, at least as close as it can be with framing lumber. I mean, it's pretty good, but each one of these boxes here is going to have to be cut. Each piece is going to have to be cut and test fitted and then finally assembled individually. I mean, they're all going to have to be custom because things are off by like a 1/16 of an inch or, you know, a 32nd of an inch. And it makes a difference because I want these boxes to be able to be slid into place and be able to remove them if I want to. So yeah, it's got to be pretty close. And I think this first one worked out really well. I actually can slide that in without too much trouble. So I'm going to actually jump up here and show you that. So let me pause the camera and then I'll restart it in a minute. Okay, this is a little difficult because I'm up on the scaffolding and I'm trying to hold the camera back far enough so you can see everything. But this box here actually slides out. You can see it literally slides out like that. And I can just, you know, slide it back in. So it took a little bit of doing to get the dimensions exactly right. And then once I got it into place, I was going to use these square brackets here, put them in there just to help it to hold its squareness. And then I thought, well, you know what might even be a better idea is to use the mending plates, because these L brackets, they're going to force it to be completely square. And what I don't really want it to be completely square. What I want it to be is to be exactly how it fits in the frame itself. And if I use the mending plates, they'll hold the exact shape rather than forcing it to be square. So actually these mending plates come in longer versions, so I can actually get one that maybe come from here to here. And they're really cheap. These square brackets, they come in packs of 4. They're like $8. So the mending plates, you can buy like 20 of them for $7. So I think I'm going to order some larger mending plates because it seems to be a better solution anyway. And then let me see if I can get a little closer here. On the outside, what we'll have is, I'm going to move this in. Just slide it into place. Hope I don't knock that out here. So this box will stick out a little bit into the Quonset here, which will give room for this 1x material, and that will sit, oh, well, I lost it. But anyway, it will sit right here and come flush with the building. And that will actually hold the stainless steel screen that will be across the front of this. So the 1x material will be screwed into this, and that will hold the screening. And then the fan will get mounted, these little mounting bars. There's 5/16 inch screws that will come through here and go into the side of the fan box and then just get bolted. So there will be a little bit of play for the tilt of the fan, not too much, but and then I'll have to actually remove, on this one you can see it on the back side, it's this box here. It's the motor speed controller for the fan itself. With this one, it's actually a separate unit that I can just pull off and I can mount on the wall over here. I'll just rewire it to send a wire over into the wall unit. But with the other fans that I have, it's actually more of an integrated speed controller. I still think I can disassemble it and use it. I'm sure I can. It's just going to take a little bit more effort to do that. So yeah, tomorrow I would like to get all of these boxes built and have at least 2 fans installed, one here and one here. And for the boxes down here, I'm going to just put temporarily, I'll put a piece of 1x material, it's like plywood, on the outside to seal it off. So you will be able to seal these whole things off from the weather if there was going to be like a big storm coming. So yeah, that's the plan. I know that's a lot of details at the moment, but as it develops, I'll explain each detail as it goes. And then I'll probably have to do some flashing because this is going to be exposed to the weather here. So I'll probably take some flashing that goes here, down, and then have a little bit of a lip that goes out to shed water off of the face of the building. And then up here, there will also be a big L bracket type thing that comes down and out, maybe about 8 inches, to shed water if we should get some driving rain coming from the west. So it comes down the building over here, and then it'll shed water down. So it's not a perfect design. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% watertight. It just can't be with things, big openings, even with screening in front of them. But it should be a long-lasting design that works well. So I'll keep working on this and show you the details as it progresses. Hey, just one additional quick update from the back side of the building where I dropped the 1x material. But this is what it will look like from the outside. So this is the frame, this is the shelf. There'll be another frame here. So this is the 1x material. It'll go all the way right where the frame is. It'll be exactly where that is. So it'll go here and here, all the way up and all the way over. I'll probably do a miter cut here like this just to make it look nice. But then there'll be another one down here and then one down like this. And then I'll get some flashing, or actually it'll just be siding material that'll come over all of this to protect it from the weather. And then the flashing will come from here out to the edge of this, down, and then slightly out to drip water away from the building. So that's kind of what I was trying to explain from the inside, but was having difficulty with camera angles and dropping the 1x material out the window. So yeah, hopefully that's a little bit better of an explanation, but as it develops, you'll see it in more detail. Okay, that's it for this week. Talk to you next week.